Welcome back to Couch Decoders. In this lesson, we are going to do a demo where I go through two different practice problems. Let's take a look at where we are in the outline. So we've already completed the first lesson in this three-part module, and we are in the where demo part 2. Now that we've learned what the where statement is and applied it in our little Macy's case study, let's go ahead and do an example together where I show you how to use the where filter in a standard query. So our first practice problem says find the unique drop-off locations for payment type 3. Sort data by drop-off location decreasing. Not a problem. Going to start with select star from my table limit 10, and I'm going to hit control click and open up this table here. And the first thing I want is the unique drop-off locations. So let's search drop off. And I have drop off date time, drop off location ID. And let's take a note that drop-off location ID is a string, not a number. So we are going to select drop-off location ID, and we want payment type. So let's search payment, and here we go, payment type. Okay, and we only want where payment type is equal to 3. Before we do that, let's just take a look at our drop-off location IDs and the different payment types that we have. So we're going to order by drop-off location ID descending, because that is what the question asked, and then we'll also just sort by our payment type. Control Enter. Okay, and right away we see we have a lot of duplicates. Well, that is because our table has each individual trip. So there was a trip that got dropped off at location ID 99 and it had payment type 1, and then there was another trip that had the same type of criteria, so on, so on, so on. So to get rid of our duplicates, we will apply distinct, and that will get unique. Okay, and I see for drop off location ID 99, we have payment type 1 and 2. For type 98, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for 97, it looks like that might go up to 5 also. So when we apply our where filter, what BigQuery is going to do is it's going to look at each row, and it's going to look at this payment type column, and it's going to see, are you a 3? If you're a 3, you get to stay. If you're not, you got to go. So 99 we know is not going to be included in our final query because he doesn't have a payment type 3. 98, he does, and so does 97. So we will see those, but not 99. Okay. So now that we have our intuition of what we think will happen, let's apply the filter and make sure that it works as intended. So where payment type equals 3. Now you see right away when I put payment type equals 3, I get a little squiggly line anticipating that this is probably a typo. And if I click on the error, I get this thing that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But basically, whenever you see this error where it says no matching signature for operator equals for argument types, what this means is that I'm saying where payment type equals something, that it's a mismatch type. So I'm saying payment type equals number 3. But if I look at payment type, I see from our schema that it's a string. That means it's text data. So I can't just leave it as a 3, I need to put quotations around it. Now that I've run my data, I see exactly as we anticipated, 99 did not make the cutoff, but 98 and 97 did. And it looks like it goes all the way down. Another thing you might notice, if you remember from last time, because drop-off location ID is a string, it's text data, when we sort it, going from big to small, first it sorts on the first character, 9, then it sorts on the second character. So first it gets all the 9s together, then it starts 8765. That's why it goes from 91, 90 to 9. Not 89, like we would have thought if it was considered a normal number. Great. Now let's look at example 8. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to comment it out, doing control question mark. Example 8. Filter to only trips where the fare amount is greater than $80 and the payment type is equal to 3. And we're going to compare the difference between greater than equal versus just greater than. So this is pretty much the same query that I had last time, except I'm going to add another where filter. So where payment type equals 3 and fare amount. Let's find what fare amount looks like. So I'm just going to search amount. And I have fare amount, tip amount, toll amount, total amount. And these are all numeric. So that means it's going to be a number and it can have a decimal. It might not, but it will. But it can. Okay, where payment type equals 3 and fare amount. And I'm realizing I had a typo here. I'll put that there. Fare amount is greater than 80 for $80. And I know that this one does not have quotation marks around it because fare amount is numeric. Numeric is a number. So I don't have the quotation marks around it. And we see with BigQuery, if it's green, that means it's text. And if it's red, that means it's a number. Except for comments, those are also red. Okay, so let's go ahead and sort this, or run this rather. And let's add another column for fare amount so we can see. And let's also sort our data by fare amount descending. Okay, so I see for 97, let's see, it goes 180, 130, 300, 950. Let's see. Trying to see if we have any that are really close to 80. So let's increase our limit. Let's pull up a few more rows and see if we can find something that's closer to 80. Because I want to show you the cutoff. Okay, here's a really good one. So for drop-off location ID 90 with payment type 3, I see that the payment type goes from 100, 99, $90 and a penny, $80 and a penny, and then it goes to the next drop-off location ID, which is 9. So let's try this again. And instead of doing greater than 80, we'll do greater or equal to 80. And let's see if we get one for exactly $80. Right away, we see here we have an 80 for 97. He was not there before. And let's look. So for 90, it looks like he did have an $80 and 1 penny who was included. He did not have a fair amount of $80. However, now that I included, you can be greater or equal to 80. For drop-off location ID 97, he now gets an extra row. This was not included before because before we said, if you're $80 even, you're out. If you're $80 and a penny, then you're in. So that's the difference between greater than and greater than equal. It's very subtle and it might feel silly, like what's the big deal between $80 and $80 and a penny? But when you're working with really big data, that difference in like that penny or that one unit over millions of rows can be a big difference. So you just want to be very careful and think about your business problem whenever you're doing any filters that have the greater than or equal. So that wraps up today's lesson. We went over 2 different examples. One using just a regular filter where we filtered for payment type equals 3, and then another one where we filtered on 2 different types of criteria, payment type and fair amount, and then we compared the difference between just the regular greater and the greater and equal than. In our last lesson for this module, we're going to wrap up giving you an opportunity to practice some of these where filters on your own. See you then. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I would be so appreciative if you could like the video and subscribe to help me create more content for you. Thank you.